Whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your hands, whip your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who us, the people lie to us, the government betray us, they betray us so much. I said they lie. The people who us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies, we tired with their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with their speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to beat? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us, they betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not corrupt. No one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are heroes? Where are the jobs that they said they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. With their promises that led us to a lot of damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to grieve? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us, they betray us so much. I said they lie.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we like to say welcome yet again to another fresh edition of the program, The Bottom Line. The Bottom Line is a platform that discusses issues about Liberia, about Liberians, and discuss to the depth of the issue. My name is Linford Weah. Paul Chilpley is there in the UK, and Augustus Gartume is there also in Germany. And tonight we're going to have a guest on the show, and that guest is nobody else. He will be introducing himself. He's nobody that is strange to the Liberian people, and I will keep him secret for now and unfold him at the right time. But let me say welcome to you, gentlemen.
Oh, thank you, Linfo. It's good to be back on Butterline. How are you doing? And by the way, my name has changed. So I'm with the King Council now. So I've been called Lord Chilope.
Wow.
Okay.
And
Yes.
that comes right on the heel of the passing of the Queen Mother, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
congratulations.
yeah. So this is the new Lord of Liberia. So that's my name, Lord Chilope.
Okay. And
Guys, how you doing?
Well, good evening to all of you, and I'm doing very well. It's a pleasure having me here once more. This is the People's Platform, and I love being here. I'm doing well. The weather is so good here today. It's kind of a little bit of heat and a little bit of cold, so we got everything.
Great, great, great.
well, they both brought in weather business. I was trying to see if I can forget about this weather thing here, but he brought it well. Paul, so how's the weather from the end? Because you see, the reason why we hate to talk about this weather, one day, especially now, 3 days ago, imagine it was almost 20 degrees plus. Then it started raining again, and things started getting bad up. So for yesterday and today, we've been having bad weather. So for me, I wouldn't want to talk about the weather. So Paul, just tell us how it is from your end.
Well, the thing is, we've been blessed, and I would say thank God for what have happened. The weather have been fantastic. Up to yesterday was 26 degrees.
Oh,
And today the weather was good until this evening because the Queen bodies have traveled from Scotland to London. The rain started pouring down. So I would say it's called a shower of blessing. So the weather have been really, really good. So I know we're going into the winter month now. And if the rain start building us just there, we're going to have a long winter and it will be extremely cold. So I would say, yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight's show. It will be fascinating. We'll have the great prophet in the house and we're going to talk a lot of things about Liberia. So guys, how is Germany, man? I learned you guys had an election recently. You ran for any post?
Well, let me say congratulations to the Liberian community in Germany, and they've showed great courage to go to the pool because it's been up to 10 years that the community has been lacking of leadership. So, yeah, we got a new leader, and we're hoping that they can do very well.
Great, great.
okay. So let me say welcome to Prophet Key. Key, do you hear us?
He's muted.
Okay, Key, unmute yourself. I cannot. Okay, let me try.
Then for you too, your background is also.
Yeah. Okay, I'm here now. And Prophet Key, I don't know if Prophet Key can hear us. The internet may just be a problem, but we don't know. Prophet Key has a show, so I'm sure he has a very stable internet. Probably there is still something. But viewers, tonight we're going to have Prophet Key on the show. You already saw, he's trying to get on. So tonight it's going to be very, very much interesting. But guys, let's go into some fun about about this show. Paul, did you actually share the flyers on your post on your Facebook page?
Yeah, it is. It's there. It's been all over.
And what are some of the reactions that you got from folks?
Well, no reaction. People looking forward to follow.
Oh, you were lucky, but I got tons of reactions, and people condemn us, people condemn me, people say I've gone against the journalistic ethic by inviting Private Key on the show, and blah blah. It was mixed reactions, and there were tons of people who said, "Oh yeah, we can't wait to see Private Key on the show." So, guy, I don't know how do you feel having that we're going to have Private Key tonight on the show?
Well, the thing is, when you look at how people will analyze who you host on your platform, everybody will come with their own views, and 80%, 70 to 80% of those views are very sentimental. And Prophet Key, being a talk show host himself, has his own platform, and he conduct things the way he conduct them at his own end. So coming to other media platform, Prophet Key is not coming to those media platform as the Prophet Key on his platform. So people will say all kinds of things, and Prophet Key is a different man. The way they see him on the other side, they just don't know who Prophet Key is. It's the way he decided to conduct his show.
Okay.
You see?
But let's see. Prophet Key, hello, do you hear us?
Hello, I can hear you. Are you hearing me?
Very loud. Very
now
clear.
you're very energetic.
And
Okay.
Prophet Key, I want to say welcome to the show. And this is the program. This platform is called the Bottom Line. That means we discuss the issue from the top all the way to the middle and then to the bottom of it. We don't leave anything hidden here. But what we do not do is we do not, say bad words here. And let me be frank with you. When we broke the news that Prophet Key is appearing on this platform, especially when I posted the flyer on my show, on my page, I got mixed reaction. People say, "Oh, my man, you bringing Prophet Key?" I say, "Yo." Then some people say, "Yeah, we can't wait for the prophet to get on the show." So I was really fighting with some people, close friends. People say, "My man, you not damage your whole thing. Why you go bring Prophet Key?" And I said, "Listen, I personally have appeared on Prophet Key show before, and we clashed. And Prophet Key has said many times that he is two persons. He is Prophet Key that can appear on the world stage, and he's Prophet Key or the ordinary Neabokwa, who is just a normal man in a society like any other person." So that's the kind of Prophet Key we want to see tonight on the show. The Prophet Key that analyzes the issue without any insult. The Prophet Key that is a father of a little daughter who teaches his daughter good morals, or Prophet Key who, in fact, Prophet Key, I understand you got married recently, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then congratulations from all of us, the panelists here.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Prophet Key. This is Paul, the Lord Chilopate from London. Welcome to the Bottom Line. It's good to have you here on our program today. So
what I'm trying to do here, I want to share the video on my page to get my following.
Yes,
I'll be doing it now.
Yeah, we'll give you time to do that. But while we're giving you time to do that, we'll just be talking something. So, like I was saying, viewers, share the video. If you join here the first time, share the video. And for those of you that have fear, because when like I said, I have mixed reaction. People were afraid. Why putting Prophet Key on the show? It can spoil the whole thing. Somebody said, me, I'll just go there to hear the question. I said, my man will be disappointed. So today, Prophet Key is with us, and let's ask you first. How's the family doing?
Okay. Yahweh Zuo, my Abby, Yahweh Zuo. It feels good to be here tonight with you guys. The family are doing well and everything is okay. Your follower should not be afraid. Like I always say, when you go to Rome, you should act like the Romans. Okay? You don't expect me to come in your house and impose my laws on you. I should be able to abide by your rules. Okay? So I think they will be disappointed tonight.
Yes, very good. And that's exactly what I was defending you in your absence. I said, they Prophet Key here myself in our class plenty of time. But I am big brother. And then when we invited him, we knew that he's going to be the normal Prophet Key, the family name Prophet Key, and that respect for Prophet Key. And so let's formally say welcome to you. Paul, is there any other thing you want to add to the welcome remarks to Prophet Key and you guys?
Yeah, well, I would say welcome, and also thank you for accepting our invitation, appearing on Bottom Line. It's good to have you here. We know that you are a political analyst, so we'll be diving into some of the trending issue in Liberia, and we're looking for your view on how things are. And you got guys from Germany. He's also on the thing. So we'll all be asking you questions, and our audience also will be asking you questions of the next show. So welcome. Feel free. This is your home.
Okay, thank you very much. Our own team Matt and Jonathan show yesterday in Monrovia. So it's just a normal thing for me because I'm a political analyst and a commentator. So coming on your show, it's just a normal thing. Your fans should rest assured everything will be good. They should not overthink, you know.
Okay. Tonight, we have a lot of things on our plate, and we will be playing some videos, and we'll be analyzing those videos, and we'll be giving our individual views, you know, because like I always said, your own cap that you're wearing, Prophet Key, you've been owning that cap for long, and you think you know that cap. But if you take that cap up and show it to each of us here and tell us to describe it, we're going to give different versions of your own cap. And you say, what is this? My own cap I've been using all the time. So it means that everybody got different ways to think. Like one of our viewers just said, it's good to hear different views, different opinions on the issue. So the first thing on our plate this evening.
Linford.
Yeah.
Before you go to the video, I sense and I see that Prophet Key has a lot of smart. I got one question that he can answer before we go to the video. Prophet Key, how is it possible for Prophet Key to be a different Prophet Key at Prophet Key's own place and a different Prophet Key on other places? How is it possible? What do you do, my man?
Like I usually say, life is all about acting.
Great.
Life is about acting. Like you acting in a horror film. Okay, in real life, you are not evil, but you acting like an evil person in a film. So that's the same thing I do on my show. On my show, it's a different thing because I understand that the criminals are afraid of insults. Okay, so I'm using that on them on my show. But other people's show, I'm a different guy.
Great. Okay, that's great.
That's great.
The first thing on our plate this evening is the resignation of the sanctioned government officials. How does this interpret for the Weah administration, especially in the coming elections? Now, we all know about the sanctions. We all know who all got sanctioned and why they were sanctioned. Okay, and since they were sanctioned almost a month ago or a little over a month ago, it was just yesterday that the 3 people that were sanctioned the same time, the same day, sent in their, and they were suspended the same day, sent in their resignation the same day. For me, it's like a stage play, you know, like somebody has staged this play. So, but how be it? How does their resignation, considering their key positions that they play in the Weah administration, how does their resignation, or how do their resignations interpret for the Weah administration in the coming elections? Is it going to have any effect? Let me start with our guest, Prophet Key. These guys that were sanctioned have now finally resigned, and they were key people in the government. You think it's going to affect the administration?
The sanction, first of all, it crippled the administration. The sanction crippled the administration. It exposed the administration that George Weah administration is corrupt and the best steam behind the scene from the Liberian people, and the American people exposed them in the public. But let me tell you the kind of card the George Weah government playing, because to resign is different from firing someone. It's a 2 different things. When you fire someone, you dismiss someone, it shows that that person is guilty of something. Okay? But when someone resigns, it shows that that person is not guilty, but they step aside willingly. So the George Weah government has not come to agree to the American sanction. that those guys are criminal. That's the reason why you see up to now, George Weah was not able to dismiss them, meaning that he's not d'accord. He's never agreed to the American censure. And so what he did, he talked to the guy behind the scene, or the first man that broke the news, that he would not dismiss them, but they will resign. So the resignation only proved that they are not guilty, but they step aside willingly. So they try to portray a good image to the Liberian people. Okay, but the Liberian people are not stupid. Okay, they can see for themselves what the guy has been doing in the space of 5 years. People who came broke and now they have become super rich. They're buying land on the Farmington River. They're buying property all over in the country. Only 2 persons refused that the censure was not right. It was wrong. Mackenzie was wrong. It's a mistaken identity. Someone used his name. It was mistaken identity. Someone gave wrong information to the Americans. And Hatchmakole and Seaforth said that his boss man, Musa Dean, sold him to the Americans. But for Bill Traore, he has not come to say anything. So, but they kind of cut the government playing. The government is still challenging the censure. And I want the American people to know this. They are challenging the censure, that the censure was a mistake. But say America is a big brother. America is a traditional partner to Liberia and one of our greatest donors. So they try to play by the radar, but in another way, calling upon those men to resign. So if George Weah was certified, he was in agreement with the censure, automatically he was going to dismiss those guys. So the act of resignation showed that he's not in agreement with the American, so he just tried to find a way around. So the Americans should know that George Weah is not certified and George Weah does not agree to that censure.
Good analysis. Paul? We are muted, Paul.
Thank you for that. I just want to follow up on this. The resignation of those 3 inductees. Is it about it with the government, from your own political view? Would this government have them to go through due process? And if they found guilty, would the government prosecute them for the alleged corruption from the American?
Yeah, but that would be another outcry. That would be another advocacy. Okay, we have to advocate for those guys to be prosecuted, to have due process in the code of competent jurisdiction. But if it left with the government alone, those men resign and it's over. It's over. Because George Weah knows that those guys are guilty, because George Weah is part of the whole scheme that going on. He's part of it. So now we have to advocate. It's another advocacy. But if we just keep quiet and sit, there will be nothing done. So the resignation, they will not resign and it's over. What the resignation about? They resign and it's over. Okay? So we have to advocate for those guys to be persecuted. And our partners, the Americans, need to be on board. Need to be on board. Because everything they're doing, election is around the corner. They know that when those guys are investigated and are guilty, it will get more negative view on the government. So they don't want it.
Okay, PK, you've stressed some good points, and that is reminding me of something very important. So I won't stick to it. I want you wait small. Let me bring them to your knowledge. So I'm not trying to differ from your previous exposés on why the guys resigned. But I want to see it from another point, from a professional point, a professional standpoint. It's important, right, that they do resign. Whether it's been stage managed or not, it's important for anybody serving public office, if you think you have good reputation, like what you have done today or you did on T-Mark show, you have your own platform, you present yourself as Prophet Key. When you come to the public as the public person on different occasions, you come very unique. That good humor you are that people don't know you are, you present yourself that way. So it is professional for people to resign when they are called upon to justify things that have happened along the line while serving public office. The question is that I'm giving to you. You've made reference to public outcry that we need the American people again so that more can be done. Who in the opposition that you think our outcry, your outcry can reach out to, that has the power to reach out to the international community now to speed up the process of justice?
I think the advocacy is not only with you and myself, it's with everyone who wants to see the betterment of Liberia. Because 1,000 miles start with a single step. If we are talking about accountability, transparency in government, people just resign and just stay like that. Everyone in the opposition, be it Joseph Boakai, Alexander Cummings, be it and Tewan Gonglo, everybody needs to see to it that it's not only a resignation. Those guys should go to court. They should be prosecuted. The American government should present the evidence and they should be prosecuted based upon the evidence. If I say that, the question here is unique. Who I think can reach out to the Americans, okay? I think anyone who is in the confine of the opposition can reach out to the Americans, can reach out to our partners, because all of our opposition leaders are recognized by America and the American listening to them.
Okay, that's
a good one.
That's a good answer. Nobody holds the trump card to any question, and nobody is wrong in their answers. We just giving our different opinions. Okay, and Prophet K, you struck something. You said it's not sufficient for these guys to resign. And then their resignation interprets to me that indeed the sanctions imposed on them are correct. Okay, that's why they resign. But the government's delay in fact, the government's refusal, they didn't delay, but their refusal to dismiss these guys, it raises certain questions. And that question is, what is the president afraid of to dismiss his appointees who have been sanctioned by America? And let me tell you, America is not one little country that will listen to hearsay, they say, because in some circles among CDCians, they come and say, oh, Cummings is spending money, $180 million to go sanction 3 people. And I don't see any reason why Cummings will go spend money to sanction Bill Traore, Serena Seafors, and Natano Magay when they are not even presidential candidates. He is running against George Weah. So he wants sanction to work on anybody or anything to deter anybody from moving forward. It should be who? George Weah, not the full soldiers. But I think what Prophet Key said, there is something that the president himself is afraid of. That is why he did not dismiss these guys, but he rather allowed them to resign. And let me concur with Prophet Key. Their resignation will interpret that they did it on their own, that the government did not take any action besides suspension, because nobody knows even the content of the suspension, whether they were suspended with pay or suspended without pay, or whether when they were suspended, they were still having contact with the government. Nobody knew. They were only suspended. We heard they were suspended. Okay, so I think that question remains to be answered. That is, what is the president himself afraid of? Okay, so that makes us to move to our next point. I don't know, except Paul or any of you got anything to add to that right now, or if Prophet Key got anything to add to that about the sanction.
Yeah,
Is Prophet Key coming up? Is he coming in? I want to say something quickly.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
sir.
go ahead.
Okay, so let's look at the sanction from all of the victims, right? Point of view. The thing is, how does a sanction imposed on Bill Twawe affect George Weah? Let's look at it from Nathaniel McGill. In his position affects George Weah. And Serena Seaforth, how does it affect George Weah? The American people, you see, they're not crazy, they're not foolish. These are major factors and contributors to the ripping of our state coffers. Let's look at the Freeport of Monrovia. Who controls the Freeport of Monrovia? That's the gateway to our economy. The first charges that they say allegations that were against George Weah, even Prophet Key, I watched few of his podcast, he talked about it. 16 billion, 25 million, they got missing, no accountability. Prophet Key have pointed to that, no accountability. So, like you said from the beginning, we know it's been stage managed, but the thing is, how detrimental is it to George Weah? Maybe Prophet Key can touch on it again. How detrimental is this sanction to George Weah, most especially at this period? In few months from now, 12, 11 months from now, will be elections.
First thing first, McGill is the de facto president of Liberia. The de facto president of Liberia. McGill been running the country. Now, often people say McGill is the real president. George Weah is only there. So to remove McGill is a big blow to the government. It's a big blow to the government. So instead of McGill carrying on his function as a minister of presidential affairs, McGill is there negotiating contract with companies. That is overlapping of function. So George Weah gave him all that power to do it, and it's not a job. Okay, so this particular guys that the American point out and sanction is a big blow to the government. It cripples the government. And when you see George Weah cannot come out and dismiss them. And first thing first, we should not forget to know that those guys are working by the will and pleasure of the president. It means they're doing what the president wants and what they're doing. They're not just doing things of their own. So they're doing what the president wants. So getting them out, it cripples the government. You listen to Tewan Gongole this morning on OK FM. He said the sanction cripple the government till now only the vice president and the president are carrying serene. Before the sanction, everybody was carrying serene in the time. Send the sanction here, everybody careful now. People scared to carry serene now. He said the morning on the show. So the particular sanction, it cripples, it put the government in Celine.
What other need of call? What other need of call, Prophet?
Ziale Tule.
You know, Ziale Tule are where you confuse and then you succumb. So the first thing is the Ziale Tule. The government confused. Now the confused party made George Weah to just suspend just like that. He just wake up one morning and suspend a minute. If it's a sound president, the first thing we're going to do, you will look at the nature of the case, investigate before taking action. Then his colleagues will know that, yeah, this president is a wise president. But because of the American sanction, the whole government going to today. So the men were confused.
Let me quickly.
People. So we still get about 18 days. So when the 18 days, let me suspend people again.
Let me quickly ask this question. Since the session, has the president called any cabinet minister meetings, like, you know, where you call all the ministers together and they all hang here, or have anybody here heard anything like that?
No, they've been having meeting, how you call it, secret meeting at Jamaica Resort. They had meeting yesterday. And the sanction is not just saying, let me break a news here. Someone in the government will be targeted with war crime code charges. Is on the way. And that person is Jefferson Koji. Jefferson Koji will not be sanctioned. They are taking Jefferson Koji to the Hague. They preparing a document. My sources tell me that they preparing Jefferson Koji document. They are taking Jefferson Koji to the Hague. They have already, how you call it, information sent to the Hague. And they say, okay, give a chance. Then we will prepare the stage before breaking him. Jefferson Koji will be one of the persons that they carry directly to the Hague. They will not sanction. They will send for him.
This is a breaking news, or I don't know, but you know, like we said, and people, for those of you watching, somebody asked me the question: when did Prophet Key, when I posted the flyer, when did Prophet Key become a political analyst? And you know, I told the guy that everybody nowadays in Liberia is a political analyst in their own right, in that they can discern the good and the evil in the society politically, and they can comment on it. That alone is an analysis. And so you're going to have a lot tonight. For those of you watching us, please share the video. And Paul, I don't know, you guys want us to read some of the comments before we go forward, because it might just be too many.
Yeah, before you read a comment, I just wanted to pick on what Prophet Key said. They work at the will and pleasure of the president.
Exactly.
And the president can dismiss and appoint anytime. Now, the U.S. government has already sanctioned key members of his cabinet. Is that not the time that he actually get the detail from the American government to see how he can prosecute these people? If they found not guilty, then they're free. But you can't just say let them resign and nothing come from other aid. And now Liberians have to advocate according to Prophet Key to get them be taken to the due process. Isn't that when he's supposed to use the will, or is he losing the grip of his own cabinet that he is afraid to take some to get him prosecuted? Prophet Key, what your take on this?
But the president is part and parcel of the crowd. He part and parcel. If we all agree that they're working by the will and the pleasure of the president. So if they are corrupt, it means the president is corrupt. He aware of their corruption. He aware. So it's like taking a criminal to be investigated. How would that investigation be? Someone who that role, then you carry into another role to be investigating. They will just play with the case, and that's just what happening. Because the president is aware he's part of it, so he's afraid that when he takes serious action, it will bounce back to him. Those guys will start to talk. Because I even heard from the previous stage that when they told Magate to resign, he said he's not going to resign. He was taking instruction from the president. And that's true. Everything Magate did, even in Magate's letter to the president, he admitted that he was negotiating contract with the approval of the president. He said it.
And Paul,
let me take it from there, Linford. Let me take it from there.
Yeah, take it, and then I'll close it.
Okay, let me take it from there. The thing is, it's just right as Prophet Key has said it. We all here have stated this over and over. I have mentioned this uncountable times, millions of times on Spice It Up, here on Bottom Line, and every other places that we go to talk the issues concerning Liberia. The thing is, when Charles Salif and the likes of other folks were brought to George Weah to prosecute, it was in the twinkle of an eye. You could see Molba Molu, you could see Jefferson Koji, you could see Akaros Gray, you could see, just all the cliques and the gangs that surround George Weah were taking it from every corner, including Atai centers that we have, those little corners that people coordinate discussion, political discussions. the name Charles Salif, the rest of the people, I mean, Deputy Ben Governor, they had everything to say. He was there in his orange jumpsuit. But here is Magay, here is Bill Twawe, here is Serena Seaforth. They've not gotten in their orange jumpsuit yet. So that is to tell you that if the president puts them in orange jumpsuit, he needs to wear the orange jumpsuit himself. But he's not going to do that because he don't want to wear the orange jumpsuit. And this is why we are putting our voices together. We're getting a popular voice like Prophet Key and other people, and we're making the case here. We're supporting to make the case. So, I mean, the question is good, but Prophet Key has given the right answer. That dude will not put the people in the orange jumpsuit. We have to mount the pressure.
Okay.
We have to allocate.
And Prophet Key says something when he said that these people work at the will and pleasure of the president. And then he also mentioned that when the American sanctioned these people, the president was supposed to, launch an investigation. But let me tell you one thing. The Americans will not give vague accusation. They will not levy vague accusation. The Americans, they are good friends of Liberia. They know exactly what food we eat individually. And so, and people are willing to give information to these people. So even whether the president conducts investigation or not, the Americans have facts. Now, the Americans could also say, well, there are several things that have been happening in this country that the government had never investigated. Let me just give a few points chronologically, in no special order. When the government first took over, there came on news about $16 billion going missing. The government said we're going to launch the investigation. They invited international investigators to come. When they came, after the crew did their work and they gave the report, did anything happen? Nobody.
They said they were doing mop-up exercise.
Yeah, nobody got responsible for that. Then $25,000 came for mop-up exercise.
25 million, not 25,000, 25 million.
25 million. Sorry. 25 million. When that money came, and others play in it, and up to now, nothing happened. Then mysterious deaths. I mean, the list of money issues go a long way. Then mysterious deaths. Right within the government, auditors. I mean, we're not talking about one Joe Blow getting killed on Broad Street. We're not talking about one Joe Blow getting chopped in his car. We're not talking about one Joe Blow being hit in the neck from his own house, and they say he fell down from his own house. He's been living in for years, and nothing happened. So the Americans have no reason to even depend on this government to say, well, we wanted to investigate. So the Americans, in fact, if the Liberian people will call on the Americans to indict these people and to actually proceed with the case, I think that would be the right thing to do. And let's raise our voices. So it don't depend on the prosecution, the perpetrator of the crime to investigate another criminal. That would be very impossible. That is impossible. Based on the records that we have, that this government has never investigated any particular incident in Liberia and come up with logical, conclusive analysis. So,
Linford, let me give you lastly before you switch to the next thing. Let me give you another indicator that this president means no business.
Right.
So I'm sticking to the Charles Salif and the Walker saga. Walker also from the central bank. So do you know that the both, while in prison, they fell ill because this president was key to make the name that he's fighting corruption and he's getting people from the previous regime to account for atrocities and mismanagement. They denied them medical attention 3 different times. But when this report came up, Nathaniel McGill was seen at a public event with the president. They were dining and whining. Not 1 time, not 2 times. They're moving to places. The guys are big guys. They're moving around. They're enjoying. They see it like it means nothing to them. These are indicators that the president will do nothing except the people themselves do something.
Right. Okay, let's read a couple of comments here. This one comes from Unique Bryant. She said, Liberian people are hypocrites. They will be clapping for thieves who collapsing the country and people's lives are worth nothing, but are quick to point fingers to other people because they don't deliver the message the way they want it. And it's time to start valuing people's lives instead of listening to messages. See, I think she's right. You know, Liberian people, like I think that relates to Prophet Key coming on the show, and people they forget about the big picture, the big issues that Prophet Key is here to discuss, but they look at the individual Prophet Key the way he
Linford,
does.
that's a comment from Unique Bryant. In my view, it makes a discussing point just for a few seconds or minutes. Could you put it up and let's look at it?
And what is it?
Unique Bryant says USA also put sanction on a senator. He is still in the House. It's a long comment. If you find it, you can put it up. I don't know whether you see it.
Okay. Okay. Maybe this is the wrong one, but let's read this one quickly and we'll move on.
Okay, now you got it up.
Yeah, so USA put a sanction or senator on sanctions, and he's still in the House. The judge they fired wrongly and many other things. The government is not serious at all. Yeah, we just said it. Now, I think she's talking about Fanny Sherman in this case, and you know,
yeah, Fanny Sherman and I think Kabina Janet issue.
Yeah,
Prince Johnson, Fanny Sherman and Prince Johnson are sanctioned, and they will remove Kabina Janet illegally.
Yeah, and so this is the kind of government we're talking about. So tell me, who's in their right mind will want this kind of government to investigate any serious issue? So it's better that, and the American ambassador said it the right way the last time. He told the Liberian people, this is your opportunity. Do not let this opportunity slip. And referring to chapter 1 of our constitution, the law is in our hands. We made the people that we sent in the House, we put in there to make a law for us, because we all can go, the whole 4.5 or 5 million people cannot go sit in the House. So we got the power. We can change if we want the change to be effective. Now, there are a lot of comments here. I'm not a political, somebody is here. We'll just review the comment and we'll move ahead. We'll get a lot of things to do. He says, I'm not a political analyst. It is not that hard to look at Liberia and realize the government is the true detriment to the Liberian people. Political analysis is not, or not. And it's true. The government that is supposed to be serving the people is a problem for the people. So how can we depend on such a government? So I think the people will have the correct time, the correct opportunity, which is coming just 11, 12 months from now, to go to the ballot box and make that change that we long for, or else we have to live with it and sit in the corners and complain like we're doing now. So I think, guys, we will say a lot on this one. As we move forward, we'll be reading some comments. But let's transition to our next topic. Paul, got any video for us that you want us to talk? I got one video. Maybe you can let me, if I roll my video, and then we can, or you want to roll your video for us?
Before we go to video, I just want to bring Prophet Key in on this. We have the senators that did amendment to our old law to enriching themselves after they died, and then go to their spouses and then children. And when the children die, the money continue in their caste. Prophet Key, what your take on this, with this senator having the bad laws that they want to bring out on our suffering people, that they're not paying or penny into the pension funds, but then they want to get 50% of their money. When they die, it go to their wives. When wives die, it go to their children. Children die, the money continue in their caste. What your take on this?
Prophet Key said I want this senator too. So
the thing is that broad stealing. I want to be a senator. I want to change things in Liberia. Because talking, and you are not in a position of power, you can't change nothing. Except those you're talking to, they make a change. We have to be in a position of power to change things. But it's a broad day stealing, and they've been doing nothing. They just expose themselves. Because first thing first, the Constitution in Article 34K spoke about enforcing acting law for pension scheme for government officials is there. But how do people get their retirement money after they retire? Elected susu. You have to pay towards the retirement. That's what we call the social security payroll taxes. You need to pay. that when you retire, then you will live on that money. But the one the government doing that broad day stealing, it means that they will not put nothing there for the retirement. They will not pay no taxes, as it's supposed to be. So when they retire, the government will be giving them free money. And they've been doing it. They've been doing it. I think 2013, that law will pass. Either 2013 or 2003. Not 2013. That law will pass. Okay? So now they try to enforce the law again because according to them, the government have not been able to pay those retired lawmakers, and the government owing them 9 million. 9 million, the former lawmaker, the government owing them 9 million because the law have been in existence. Now what they're trying to do, they try to consolidate it, pull it in together as a one bundle and enforce it. So now it backfire. It backfire, and the public get to know that this particular law is not in the interest of the people. It's a broad day stealing. So what they are doing is not in our interest. They're stealing from us. So the public need to stand up. Because the people, we are the employer. They are our employees. You can't allow your employee to do anything they want to do. The people have to come up. Article 1 gave us the right that we can come out and call upon our lawmakers, those that we put there, to be answerable to what they're doing. It's a broad day stealing.
Right.
So men are making money. They're using the money like our boy Dara DeLong, riding first class, spoiling the money. Like other people, like they wasting the money behind girlfriend, using the money anyhow. They're not thinking about tomorrow. So for them, even when they finish spoiling their money, there will still be a free money waiting for them. And we should not accept this.
Paul, let me follow it, Paul. You close it. Let me follow it.
No, I got a thought, Prophet Key. I know that you mentioned a name just now, Darren Dillon. And I remember the June 7, you guys were the voice of the voiceless. And he advocated that he was going to go in a house to be the light. And today he one of the crafter of that document, the revised document that we're talking about. So people like you now, you want to go into the house. What sort of mixed messages is this that people have that confidence to, like you now want to run? Darrell didn't have gone in there to show the people he went as a light and he's no longer a light. How would that affect you if you intend to run?
No, but Darrell didn't is spoiling the way for people like us. He's spoiling the way for people like us because Darrell Dillon went there as an advocate. I am an advocate, okay? And now the person who sent there to represent the Liberian people, now Darrell Dillon is polluted and working with those he met there. He's no more working with Liberian people. He's the one part of the judicial committee and his signature out there. He said, no, it's not a law. Listen to what even Darrell Dillon said. The law in which they sign is not the one that appear in the public. So it means nothing serious taking place over there. And what Darrell Dillon said are true. It means I have no way to even trust those we put there. How y'all go sign for something, then different thing appear in the public? That is great. That is deception on a higher degree. So they're not doing things in the favor of Liberian people. And Darrell Dillon being the light, and now the light turned to Charlie left, from there it turned to Jack-O-Lantern, and the Jack-O-Lantern about to go off. Darrell Dillon spoiled the way for other people like us. But Liberian people see for themselves. Like I can always say, one apple cannot spoil the whole apple basket. There are some other good apple in the basket, and when the time reaches, those apple will be revealed to the people. But Darrell Dillon really, he spoiled things, and he spoiled the way for other people.
Okay, let me just come in on this one. Thank you, Paul, for bringing that topic up. Now, you see, Liberia is a unique country that we allow or we choose our own roads, our own thieves. You know, like the great P.L. Lumumba said, that one of the quotes I like about him, that we in Africa, we elect or we select who to see from us, you know. So that's what we do. And how can I be employed by Paul? And then I tell Paul how much I will make. I make my own salary. You see, when people go to the wrong campaign, including you, Prophet Key, you want to go in the house. When you go to the wrong campaign, you stand in front of your electorates and tell them, I will do this, I will do this, I will do this. No, it is wrong. Let the people that you're going to tell you what you will do. If you go look for a job, you don't tell your boss, man, that will be brushing around the house, or that will be painting the house. No, apply for the job and let your boss man tell you what you will do. And this is where the voters have to be very important in the whole process. When the prospective candidate comes to you and say, I want to be senator, I want to be representative, do not let them tell you, oh, I will build bridges, whether you're doing the bridge or not. Oh, I will brush the side of your road. I will come build one school here. No. Don't let him tell you what you will do and what he will do. You tell him what you want because you are electing him. So I think that's another whole issue or topic that we'll be discussing another time. And we can create time for that, where we have to educate the voters. Because if I go look for a job, I'm not going to be the one to tell my boss how much I will make or what task I have to perform. And I hear one or J. Marvin saying we are reading the thing upside down. We are not reading with comprehension. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, but I want to respond to that guy. Mm-hmm. You see, what they're trying to say is that the law has been in existence. That's true. The law has been in existence since 2003. 2003, which are the government had brought? Now interim government. And interim government. So at the time, everybody was chopping. It was the time for chopping. The interim government was had in 2003 when they passed the law. So each retired lawmaker was supposed to walk away with 4,000. Okay. Now the men come now, they're enforcing the law. They enforce the law and they carry the amount up to 5,000 instead of 50%. But yet the poor carrying 4,000. And then law was made 2003 during the time of interim government. But we as a Liberian, we really need to look at it carefully, radically, in a smart manner. We pension money, that what you put in, that what you can get. The money that will be put in every budget year, what we can use it to fix our roads? What we can use it for our hospitals? What we can use it for our schools? What we can use it to get loans to our market women? Why we can use it for that? Why we should be giving free money to people and they have the money, they never pay towards their retirement? We should be getting free money every budget year. That law is criminal in nature and it started during the time of the interim government. So it needs to come to an end.
Okay,
oh, yes,
I think that's fair enough.
That's a powerful one. That's a powerful one, Prophet Key.
For you viewers, you can share the video with your friends, and then you can also call us on this WhatsApp number, +47 99 450 882. I see people say they want to talk. We can bring you on here, or you can call us and you give your view. The number again is moving fast, but I can repeat for you. It's +47 99 450 882, and we can hear your view. Okay, let's transition, gentlemen. Paul, I said you should give me a chance. Let me play my video. You know, it reminds me of Charles Julu. When something happened at the executive mansion and he took over briefly, they asked him why he took over the mansion and said, let me just play my video. But my man, when you're on the video, you can't tell all your mom what you want to play. Say, yeah, let me just play the video. So you are mute, Paul, you are mute.
Paul, you are muted.
I said, Prophet Key himself is tired waiting for this video. So play this video. Let's see what
let me play it quick.
Yeah, let me see the video.
You know, a thief like you that marry in Paris, you're not going to overwhelm us with your consciousness. It's your own guilt that is allowing you to overtalk. It's your statutory body that have the right to put policies in place like the attorney is telling you. You'll be a lot smarter if you just listen. If you just listen, you will be a lot smarter. Your main issue is you talk too much and you don't listen. What she's saying is explaining the difference between policies, laws, rules, and where they fit into each category. We all as Liberians have the right to challenge what we challenge. It doesn't mean that we are right. Akara, what are policies? What are policies? What are rules? You know what? Yeah, my man. You know what? It's just so sad that even after years in power, you refuse to graduate. You are still unable to have the reason you're moving because you were all illiterate and unable to move a platform related to institutions. Look at a sitting lawmaker cannot even allow someone on a platform to explain themselves. She makes a point. She makes a point. You don't even. How can you be a lawmaker? You don't even have the ability to listen. Now, what the people in your district, pooping you on the street, you get it married in Paris because you can't listen. Your ear is clogged with power and your ear is clogged with greed. On a simple show, you cannot allow other Liberians to give their views. You overshadow everything because you have limited Akaros. It's just so sad.
Okay, I don't need to continue this video. But we just want to expose something. The mighty Congress for Democratic Party then, and then now the mighty Coalition for Democratic Change. Okay, so can you imagine George Solo and Akaros Gray at each other's throat? By the way, a disclaimer: we cue this video from Spoon Talk Show, so it's not our creation. So Spoon got all the credit. And so this comes right after the same George Solo was on Spoon Talk along with a guy called Macalor, someone Ellis. Sorry, I can't remember the full name. And the two guys totally dismantled George Weah as an individual and a president, his activities. And then George Solo is also single-handedly taking on a certain lawmaker who has been there for years for the CDC. And George Solo being former chairman of the party. So do you see the trend that the CDC itself is disintegrating? That people who are former allies of President Weah can come sit on platform, big platform, the biggest platform so far, with a lot of people, and dismantle him, disgrace him, talk all the words about him, and then his representative also with his former party chairman at each other's throat. If you continue the video, you will hear some things that you don't want to hear. Okay, so gentlemen, I just want to throw it out there. Is the CDC disintegrating because George Solo was expelled, and George Solo carries supporters as well. He got sympathizers. The Macalord that was talking, he got people in the CDC who also look up to him. Okay, so do you think all of these things is it healthy for George Weah at this time, coming 2023, right behind the door?
So is that a question for Perfect Key?
For everybody.
Well,
yeah, but let's hear from our guests. Let's hear from our guests.
First thing first, CDC is done. There's an infighting in CDC. Okay, CDC is divided into two major factions. Like I always say, Liberia is the land of faction. For example, we came with COP, and later it became CDC COP. We came with MPFL, it became IMPFL. We came with ULIMO, it began LIMO J and LIMO K. So Liberia is the land of faction. And you can see the faction within CDC. We get the George Weah faction and the Jefferson Kochi faction. And the two factions have been fighting against one another. For example, the George Weah faction are made of Nathaniel McGill, Samuel Tue, Eugene Nangbe. Okay? Then we get the Jefferson Koji faction. It's made of Jefferson Koji and Tomo Fala, Sir Joseph, and Molba Molu. So you can see the division within the CDC themselves. Those that are there, Molba Molu, and how to call it Akawa Gray. Those that are there among themselves. When last you've been seeing how you call it Sir Joseph and Joshua movie? That just recently. Almost 5 years now the men of Corinto. That just recently Sir Joseph was on a dedication of skating and bow at the Invincible Park. So you can see that CDC itself is divided and they are fighting among themselves who will have greater access to George Weah, who the people will listen to. So for how you call it, George Solo been gone for a while. Okay, George Solo been out for a while. So George Solo in a giving or insight about the CDC. Because more often we just outside the gate and looking inside. But George Solo from inside. So George Solo telling us what happening inside there. So it helps the opposition, it empowers the opposition to get more at the CDC government to dismantle it. But for George Solo, he been out long time. But within the same CDC among themselves, there's an infighting. CDC is made of faction. They only fighting to hold, but it's not holding. When you look at it very well, you will see it. That it's not holding. Information coming from the CDC, Jefferson Koji and Samuel Twain was the one who leaked information to the American. Jefferson Koji went to America to go get information that Magay is stealing. Even when George Weah became president, okay, before the inauguration, Jefferson Koji and Magay have a fight at Palm Spring Hotel. You remember the guy they called Boyman, that how you call it, are working to
information
that escape. Okay. Boyman explained that the night after George Weah win the election, that night they had dinner. So Jefferson Koji and Magay, they all were saying that to Palm Spring when they were writing names of those that were working in the government. Jefferson Koji wanted to go to NSA. He wanted to go to NSA, and Magay said, no, Jefferson Koji can't go to NSA. Jefferson Koji slapped in Magay ear. That night, they fought. So they have been infighting within the CDC. So Solo in a happy or empowering the opposition, we can use his description, we can use the empowerment and attack them more. But CDC is fragmented. We just need to unite ourselves and take the fight to them. But even among themselves, they are factions, two different factions. The George Weah faction and the Jefferson Koji faction. Now what's happening right there in the CDC?
Then Prophet Key, that brings a question to mind. In the opposition right now, since we all know that there are several factions in the CDC, what can you tell us? Which one of those factions is the weakest that we can go and attack and bring onto us before we go for the next one?
Now, as I look at things, the weakest faction now is the George Weah faction. Because Magay is out. Samuel Twain Henkin. Because when you want to fight, you should fight to win.
Definitely.
You should fight to win.
And
we need to go for the George Weah faction.
Prophet Key says CDC is fragmented. So based on that note, Prophet Key, give me 2 minutes of your time. Just watch it because CDC is fragmented. This is my good friend, Dr. Tenny.
Well, let me do this quick podcast. And this goes to the chairman of the party, Molba Molu. And the executive committee member of the Congress for Democratic Change and its coalition member. There is
somebody's listening to audio.
Event.
Lower your audio.
The president is in a very dire situation that requires urgent intervention. If the members of the coalition, if the party does not take siege of the government, President Weah is going to get himself entrapped by dangerous forces with competing agenda. The Congress for Democratic Change gave birth to the presidency through its coalition member. Do not allow a situation where there will be internal fighting that will crumble the government. The party must take a radical position now to besiege the president. That all further appointment must be made through the consensus of the party or through the party. The party needs to develop a plan B strategy in the eventuality that there may be another sanction. The party must take charge of the government process. If the party does not do that now, competing forces with sinister motive will manipulate the presidency, and you will have another dangerous McGill situation that will unfold. We have already made a grievous mistake by allowing the whole government to be manipulated and controlled by a few people. We're at the exclusion of the party. The party needs to take its rightful place now to protect the vote of its partisans and save the country from imminent implosion. Judge Weah is on a very thin thread. And we need to, as a member of the party, we need to ensure that the system does not crumble. It is the party that must go to the rescue of the government now. I read the United States Embassy communication indicating that they never told the acting Minister of Foreign Affairs to request biometric sample from the neck. Thelma Duncan Sawyer is not a member of the party. Who is she working on behalf of? What is the motive for requesting a sample? Who has the capacity to duplicate biometric stuff in this country for election? The Congress for Democratic Change and its coalition member never won a rigged election. We are not a party that forged on rigged process. Something sinister is unfolding. Something very sinister is unfolding. How can Edwin Snow be at the forefront with the president of Liberia when Edwin Snow is diametrically opposed to the ideology of the party? How? Why should we allow that? The party must take charge now, or else the party will have herself to blame. We all will have ourselves to blame. There are technicians who can cushion the imminent shock. We are around to cushion the shock. We will work at the level of the party.
The echo were actually coming from the recorder from Dr. Tenney himself, not from the. So, Prophet Key, you said the party is in disarray, and you are right. There is infighting there. So this is the proof of what you are seeing, that they are struggling, they actually fighting each other. So I just want to put that in to show that, yes, there's infighting because nobody knows where it's heading. So the opposition now need to take charge and make use of this opportunity to run with it. So you are right.
Yeah, but again, let me see something. Look, all this, the boy who cried wolf, or all these alligator tears that Lester Turner is sharing now. It seems as though the party or the CDC, the government, the entire government, not only the party, but the government, sees something at the horizon that we, the ordinary people, do not see. We that are just ordinary people, ordinary Liberians, do not see, but they see something with the elections approaching. They begin to cry foul so early because they know that they cannot make it. They see strong forces emerging. Okay? I mean, let's forget about the CPP, right? Let's forget about the CPP because they thought they would dismantle the CPP by breaking through and subtracting some members from the CPP. But notwithstanding, the CPP still remains. We got other strong people that are coming up. Dr. Cassette, Councillor Gonglo, and the rest of them. At the end of the day, these people could just negotiate and say, no, listen, we know we will not win, but let's go to one particular group and build up a stronger foe. So the ruling party is seeing something at the end of the tunnel that we do not see. And so they begin to say that, if you listen to Lester Tennant, he's trying to insinuate that there are some forces infiltrating the ranks and files of the CDC that are not supposed to be there. And he's mentioning Edwin Snow, I know, as a litmus test. Now, Edwin Snow, this is not the first time Edwin Snow is being close to the president. Edwin Snow has made trips with the president on good notes. Edwin Snow has had time when the president went to bombing, he lifted the president hand up. He said he was supporting. Why didn't Lester Tennant raise issue with Edwin Snow at the time? But now,
so
guys,
my question to follow on to Perfect Keys, you have been a strong advocate and you've been on all of the leaders, the political leaders. Now, with the situation of the CDC government that is infighting at the moment, the CPP had their bid, the opposition had their one. Coming to election and get the CDC now fighting. We got 3 strong contenders going into the race to challenge George Weah. And we're looking at the kind of Liberia we want. I want you to, from your own point of view, with those 3, let's put the political thing aside. Who do you think among those 3 is the best manager among them that can take this country to a next level?
But I think you do perfect key justice if you name the 3 so that you know.
Well, Alexander Cummings, Tewan Gonglo, and Joseph Nyuma Barker, they are the 3 contenders to take on George Weah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. That same question came to me yesterday by T-Max, the veteran journalist. First thing, for the 3 person, they are all good, but someone should be the best. But for me, I cannot choose anyone among the 3 because I want to see their running mate. Because your running mate will determine what you really stand for, your running mate. So I'm not going to jump the gun until I can see their running mate. I'm a free position. Me, I'm an independent man, but I also support the opposition. Because for me, the ruling position is a no-go zone. They fear the Liberian people because George Weah inaugural speech said that we will not be spectator in our own economy. We worse than spectator. He said Liberian people gave him the mandate to end corruption. Corruption has increased. He said that the national resources will not end up in corrupt government official pocket. Now we see that all the government officials are corrupt, and even America coming in to help us with sanction. So I cannot tell you now from here who is best seated until they can choose their running mate. By their running mate, then I can determine where we go from there.
Let me follow up on this, Prophet Key. You've always said you're a free position, and with no doubt, you got people that follow you, people who believe in you, regardless of number. And in vote or in elections, numbers matter. So whether you got 2 people, 3 people after you, or that follow you, that take command from you, that will go anywhere you go, they matter when vote counting comes up. Now, what if elections are held and Mr. Cummings, Joseph Wakai, Tewan Konglo, any of them takes on George Weah? I'm just being hypothetical. In a runner-up, will you ask your supporters, because you're a free position, you don't support anybody, so will you ask your supporters to stand behind anybody who takes on George Weah? Or let it be the other way, that Cummings, I'm asking this general question, that Cummings is taking on Tewan Konglo in the final. Will you ask your supporters to side with one group, or vice versa, Tiawan Congress is taking on Boaka in the runner-up. Are you willing, in any case, are you willing to ask your supporters to vote for somebody?
Like I said, I'll repeat myself. It depends on the running mate.
No.
Because for me,
the question I'm asking is the running mate have been chosen, okay, and then elections have gone.
But who the running mate? Who the running mate?
No. We are just being hypothetical. We are just drawing a picture here in our mind. We are dreaming now. We are dreaming now that the four of us here, we all go to elections. Then you have to support one of us. Are you willing to support that person? It's just a general question. Let's just build a picture in our mind that they have chosen their running mate and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then we are going to election. The elections is between two people.
No, for me, I cannot support George Weah. Like I said, George Weah deceived the Liberian people, let the Liberian people down. And I will continue to say it. The CDC government is no go zone. But I cannot tell you whether it depends on your running mate. Okay, let's look for example. Okay, you choose someone that you only cannot run you as a running mate. You want me to support you? If you win, you win. Because first thing for you cannot manage your own party. She can manage your own party. Okay? She can manage your own party. Everything is a disarray. They sold their party for pickup. Okay? So you can't expect me to support that kind of person when you bring them behind you. So for me, I will just be neutral and watch you. I'm not going to condemn you, and I'm not going to, to promote you. I will just watch you.
Well, Prophet Key, you said she sold her party for pickup?
Yeah, for pickups. That's what it did.
Lord Cholope, why you acting like you hear anything? Why you acting like
this is funny.
Yeah, well, we just gotta make it. We gotta make it fun sometimes. We can't make it serious all the time. Okay.
PK, let me come to something here quickly, right? So 2017 we went to election. 2018 we had a new president. Just in 1 year, this president was making headways, and they came to the public and said the House of Representatives had a cut in their salary. So they were supposed to take, I think, I'm assuming that they were supposed to take $5,900. I think that was what was on the papers. So, well, in 3 years, after that period, the guy come back to us and tell us, so you see the plan, I'm giving you the plan that they were very, very corny to the Liberian people. Yeah, so they reduced the salary so that this plan from 2003, they were targeting this plan from 2003. So in 2018 or 2019, they had salary reduction. They were all around with it. CDC were making boast of it. Today they are telling us for life. Imagine a Karos, a classroom teacher that will go to the classroom to teach. His share, it will be open well a day before he be teaching in a classroom. He couldn't afford to buy a good t-shirt. Will come up today and can luxuriously propose in Paris and marry in Paris and take vacation to the Burj Khalifa Tower. And he's telling us he's not able to manage that wealth, that he wants more of it till he dies. And in fact, he's not only dying with that wealth, but his husband, imagine, he takes maybe 500 different house helps until he can pass. The Liberian taxpayer money will be going towards that. Whereas he has corrupted this generation and still wants to corrupt the next generation. So what comes to mind is, do we support a completely new government, or should we pick amongst them? Because these are just the same people, all wine in new bottles. For me right now, I am so dissatisfied that even if you are making 20% good, if you are making 20% good or impact, I don't even see it as much. Because if you were making those impacts, our classroom teacher will be making up to $500 United States dollars, which isn't even anything much. But at least a classroom teacher, a professor, will be making at least $500 United States dollars. But how much do those people carry home? But their children today, you'll be calling upon them to be wearing your t-shirts, to be chanting your slogans. So the question here is, should we have a full new government? Like, I want to make reference to Eugene Facon. Nobody's stupid here. You know, we're not coming campaign for y'all to be sitting down, eating chicken boom and drinking and watching your garden with champagne. Should we go for a completely new government, or shall we replace just a handful of the people and maintain the wise ones?
But it's impossible to have a complete new government. It's impossible. Because the government had 3 branches that make up the government. So there are other people, they're going for 9 years. They will still be there. They will be there until 2029. You get other people that will still be there till 2029. So the only people I think we will be thinking about now is the executive branch. The executive branch. Because Joshua just brought in Achimokole CNU, who will be serving as Chief Justice. She have been confirmed. She have Chief Justice. So you cannot have a new government in totality. It's not going to work. But I think we can change the executive and bring new people to enforce the law, to work for the Liberian people. So when you get a transparent and a transparent and accountability and executive that will work for the people, because the iron sharpening iron may inspire another man. So long the executive is up for the task, those guys in the judiciary and the legislature, all of them will be forced to work. Like what Tewan Gonglo said today. He said when he become a president, he will pass a law that a president will not take food and call nobody in the judiciary to intervene when it comes to the people doing their job. Even to call a policeman to intervene when the police doing a job.
But how will somebody know that the president is calling?
Which isn't even possible. Which isn't even possible. Far from reality.
The president has access to text phone. He has access to cell phone, multiple cell phone. So nobody will be there to monitor who is calling.
Yeah, but information can leak though. Information can leak. At least when it becomes a law, they will be careful. You're not trying to say in short that the president should not interfere.
Very good.
What you're trying to say, because when people speak, you have to understand it to another way. You're trying to say that the president should not interfere. And you know, because of what's happening now, the president is interfering into everything.
Yeah, and that is very much personal to the president, because the president is the one who will set the pace for the rest of the people to follow. So if the president is not taking phone and interfering in judicial matters, he's not going above his limit. That would be personal to the president to decide. But to say you pass a law, because I don't see how that law will work. So somebody's going to be there to be tapping the president's phone all the time. So it's difficult, you know. But it's like when you have an old car and it's giving you a problem and you're not mechanic. When the engine giving problem, you go look at the tire. So you know that's what we're doing with Liberia. Liberia got so many problems that sometimes we try to fix it, but we choose a different approach.
Yeah. Linford, let me come to this. Let me come to this quickly. Prophet Key. We got a few months to elections. And in the last 2 years, the CDC and the government, the executive, have been playing around most of the vote-rich counties. Your county happens to be one of them. Grangida County, and a few counties in the southeast, but most especially the vote-rich county, Lofa County. We saw Koji, we saw Thomas Fala, you know, the legs of Sir Joseph, you know, even the Fresque murderer who the war crime court is looking for today, Koji, and all of them are going into all the vote-rich counties. So Nima County, I want to be precise with Nima County, where you come from. They carry a financial loan scheme there. Do you think it's a workable strategy, and do you think that strategy has made any impact on the people there? And what would you want to tell the people of Nima County as well as other vote-rich counties?
First thing first, the Nimbayans should know that the loan scheme that they're carrying there, Nima worth more than that. We have been one of the biggest contributors to the Liberian economy. And what do Nima get in return? Nothing. Look at our iron ore, all gone. Okay, we have been one of the biggest contributors to the Liberian economy. So, and we're not getting nothing in return. Nima does not even have a fire truck. A fire truck. We stay in the dust. So all these things are just came to deceive the people, to get the people vote. And you see the greater nightmare of Prince Johnson will hit him if he sit there and allow George Weah to go for second term. George Weah only jabbing Prince Johnson to get it, to get into walk around code. But he cannot be at the first term. When he get hold of second term, Prince Johnson will be disgraced, and Prince Johnson will never imagine what waiting for him, what will happen to him. So all the things they're doing, carrying scholarship in Nima, is just a play. Nima worth more than that. We are one of the greater contributors to the economy. We should be better off than that. So then Nima take that and just take it to be that it's just normal thing. It should not take their vote. You come in and trying to get people loan or carry scholarship, it should not take your vote, because we are one of the greatest contributors to the Liberian economy. We work more than that. So your vote is your future. Do not get your vote to people who will not know you time for election. And Prince Johnson is losing grip in Nima. Prince Johnson, yes, I was coming. Prince Johnson went on Spoon F and said, "Oh, one kind of period, he will make a woman and will naked and said to meet me." Now Prince Johnson sleeping in peace because I'm not going to Liberia. I'm going to go in that election. I stay in front of Nima and speak to them. The dimension will change. The dimension just to have me in Liberia.
Prophet Key, let me hold you right there. God, thank you for this question. And Prophet Key, I think our time is fast spent. We'll be letting you go. You are our guest. We can hold you the whole night. But you have ambition. Let me just bring in this one as the closing part for you. You have ambition. How much work have you been doing in Nima County? In fact, let me ask you this question. Do you still hold that view that you want to be senator of Nima County? And if so, how much work have you done for the fact that you don't live in Nima County now and elections are just 12 months away?
No, but now I changed my mind. I'm not running in 2023 because because of insecurity. Liberia is not safe for me. I've been getting threat on social media and information coming from there, from the seat of the government, that when I put my phone on the ground, the government will pay people to assassinate me. They will use all the methods to get rid of me.
Wow.
So I decided to hold on now until the future. When Chancellor was there, John, we are left. When Doe was there, heading left. So I'm not going to show myself, so, oh, I hero, yeah, I am. No. I will not be a case study for that government. You just spoke about auditor there that they killed in their own house and put them down, say they jumped down. So I'm one more about the men who have been actually insulting the criminal there, murders. What more about me?
There's an element on the road, so he left me in the water.
The man upon you is zealous to le.
They now upon in total zealous to le and see all the time.
There's an element
you have to be a vision-minded person. You have to read people mind.
The road, so he just walking in the forest and something that happened to him.
So, Lord Chella play, lean for. Let me ask Prophet Key this question. I remember one time he spoke on one of the radio stations back home and they raised this question. But here on our platform, I want to remind Prophet Key of this question. You come from the diaspora background. You know, Prophet Key has been one of the people that got close to most of the people coming through the diaspora because most of them passed through North Africa. They came to Europe. They will go back to North Africa to rest and enjoy and have fun. You know, some were, I mean, like big money guys, and Prophet Key was, you know, there with them, making sure things happen, including this George Weah. This is one of his cool friends from back home, from down the line. So the question is, PK, the question is, now that you're not going for 2023, what if 2023 is over and maybe 60% of the things you want Josh to do, assuming he has corrupted the system and then taking the election, and call you, Prophet Key, to join his team so that the total change can come? Will you support a George Weah government?
George Weah cannot be trusted.
Finish.
Cannot be trusted.
I think that's the only answer.
Prophet Key, let me just bring some little fun into this. We've been on politics all along. Yesterday I spoke to Prophet Key and we had a chat. And for you guys to know, Prophet Key, that my in-laws. And this suggests,
Who married who? Who married from who?
My nephew got 2 kids by his niece. So we kind of chatted yesterday and got to interconnect. So I want to say this is a family show and we'll bring it Prophet Key. So this is the new, that's my new in-law. So somebody sent me a message from you, Prophet Key, and they wanted to know how you became prophet.
Oh, how I became prophet? That's a good one. And it was in 1998 when God spoke to me. I heard the voice of God and God spoke to me and God told me, say that God will teach me. Because I really don't like to refer to God as he. Because for me, God does not have gender. So God spoke to me and God said, God will teach me. It happened in 98, and that time Charles Taylor were in Liberia, and I went from place to place teaching, and Liberian people start to call me prophet, because a prophet is a seer, meaning someone who sees things before it happens. He say it will happen. And I was invited on Case FM Sarah's time. I was even invited by T-Max, that you see today, but because the crowd behind me was too much, T-Max refused to interview me. Right at the end. See my time were up on Crown Hill there. I thought they had the radio station on Crown Hill there. Okay, T-Max refused to interview me. So I became a prophet because God spoke to me. And from there, I started to teach the things of God. And even Charles Taylor spoke about me. He challenged, and Bishop Michael Francis said, why you can't go meet the Hebrew boy? Because people call me the Hebrew boy at that time. Why you can't go meet the Hebrew boy and change him to be a Christian? Instead of you putting your mouth on my government. I think I use the word the pepper bush. When you go to that pepper bush and speech, I will mention in that speech by Charles Taylor. So I became a prophet when God spoke to me, and I start to prophesy and I start to talk to people about God. And I since my age today, I have always been in my prophecy, continue teaching. I've even formed my own religion called Justice and Judgment.
Yeah, I almost asked you, are you a Christian?
I'm now a Christian. I'm now a Christian. I'm now a Muslim.
You believe in a Christian God?
No, Christian does not have God. There's a one supreme God that Christian worship, Muslim worship. The owner of the universe is not a God for a particular people.
Okay.
That's right. That's right.
It's fascinating to hear this. So it was through your preaching, Charles Taylor called you the pepper bush. And then it was
it was through my preaching, he not coming pepper bush. He mentioned me in the pepper bush speech.
Right.
Speech.
And through your preaching, George Weah introduced you to the wider Liberian community as well.
Yeah, he did, because he mentioned me as a prophet, but he doesn't know the kind of prophet I am accosting people.
Right, right. So that's it. So,
okay, but Prophet Key, let me ask you another question. You've always gone very personal with President Weah, but if you had the opportunity to meet President Weah now, as the normal Prophet Key, and you meeting this President Weah not as president but Weah, are you willing to sit with him to talk to him? And I mean, on a normal situation.
You see, first thing first, I'm not against George Weah, but there should be the topic for discussion.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot just go to meet with someone. There should be topic of discussion.
Oh no, yeah, okay. Let me clear the push. The thing is, George Weah is man, you and me, and all of us here, ordinary person, but the title he's bearing, okay. So he puts the title aside. He say, Prophet Key, today I'm not president here, and you're not Prophet Key on your Prophet Key show. Let's sit down and talk as friends. I invite you for coffee or dinner or whatever. And he really assures
I'm a relational man. First thing first, I don't just meet with anybody like that, because there are some people who are unclean. Okay, because I have to be very careful who I'm meeting with, because you don't get, like I always say, there is no devil who is supernatural. The people believe that there's a supernatural being that somewhere who is invisible called devil. I believe that devil is human being. Human being is the devil, because there is two things God put in every man, an acquired conscience, and the conscience is made of good and evil. So before a man do good, he have to think it. Before he do bad, he have to think it. So the human being himself is the devil. There is no supernatural being anywhere. But religious people teach you away. I understand even the concept of devil, where it came from Mesopotamia, before it came down to from Mesopotamia to the Canaanites, before it jumped to the Christians, and I know where it started from. But human being himself is the devil. George Weah is a devil. So meeting with, he's the devil. Relationally, in my relational mind, George Weah is a devil, because he get in too much to the evil part of him. Because, like I always say, there is two things, good and evil. And the end of the evil is to defend you against any infiltrator. For example, this man blow. This blow represents evil. Like I always tell my followers, this blow represents evil. If I strike you with a blow, will it bring you joy? Will it bring you happiness?
No.
It will not bring you happiness. So it will bring you evil. It will inflict evil on you. So why am I doing it for? I should use the blow to protect me, to defend me, for self-defense. Not
can you forgive, or do you have that spirit of forgiveness?
It depends. It depends. Okay? If I do something accidentally, I can forgive. If you do something to me accidentally, I can forgive you. Okay? But if you do it willingly, I can't forgive you. You have to pay for it to send a message to other people.
But
I'm not supposed to do.
God said, do not pay evil for evil.
But listen, the same God said, do not pay evil for evil. The same Bible said God will punish you for the evil that you're doing. So that evil is paying for evil right there.
Okay.
That's right.
Prophet Key, let me bring you to this one. So in 2019, pretty close to 2020, Heron Pedro Costa was planning to go to Liberia. And I got the very first-hand intelligence that in that month he had gone to Liberia, he was going to die. And I had just reopened the platform, spice it up, and I didn't know who to reach the information to. And I told Prophet Key. So, and at that time, it was the time to miss him as well in, I think, Morocco or somewhere in Morocco also. So he was kind of afraid to just communicate with people. So when I reached out to him, I said, look, I see you close to Costa, and I got this intelligence for him. I need you to pass it to him. And PK doubted it. On the 5th day after Costa postponed the trip, he went though and he faced some problem. But on the 5th day when he postponed the trip, by that time PK had announced it and it was exact as I told him. So from that time we became some kind of cool friends, and then later on his pages were changing. I think they were hacking him. But the thing I'm bringing to you now is I admire the time you have friendship with Costa. You being a person who analyzes things differently. Costa also is the very staunch and very huge figure in the political terrain. You became a close ally to him with your own fame, with your own popularity, your fans. Right now we're going to election. I see him as your brother, in fact. If he wants to reconcile, I don't want to know the story because I know the follower want you to tell the story again, but I don't want to know the story. So if he wants to reconcile, will you give a space for reconciliation?
Yeah, I can gain space for reconciliation because Costa had not done something that will make me to not reconcile with him. Like I said, there are certain things when people do, I can't forgive. For example, when somebody tried to kill me, you find a way to kill me and you fail, I can never forgive you. Like what happened between Doe and Prince Johnson, that what led Doe to an early grave. Someone had left from that tree in Libya. From Libya, he killed the Burkina Faso and became president. Then he entered a great war from Bopley, all the way to Morovia. That means you made your friend.
That's a good one.
You can't make him
There
your
are
friend.
certain people that you just can't bring them around you no more. People that want to kill you, that doing things to take away your life, and they even fighting to. You know, sometimes when your enemy try to get rid of you, when he fail, he can relax and form another strategy. So when you bring him back in your life, he will finish the job that he started.
So
another thing, Prophet Key. Another thing.
But I think we have to slow it down because
let me bring this out. I got a very good question for the prophet here, and it's also based on our mothers and our sisters. Somebody sent me a text, say, please speak to the prophet. We follow him. And the question is, what is this prophet doing that go to the left and use the bar words and he still get plenty of women follow him? Is that prophet using voodoo? That's the question the person asking. How the prophet manage him?
And you know, and that's true, eh? You know, so now when I open my Facebook friend request, so women. Sometimes, yes, so women. So I saw used to end I had to even okay men. So now I can feel guilty. I say, oh, so the whole thing I get that be okay women, I get okay men to me. So the fact of the matter, women are very sensitive. Like I can always say philosophically, take a knife and give it to a woman to kill a chicken. She will not kill it. But take a knife and give it to a woman to cut you a plum or pineapple. She will be rotting. You know why? Because psychologically, women are very sensitive. She knows that it's not good to kill. It's not good to take away life. So that fear in her naturally. So when women see anything that is not good at all, their mind, their intuition can tell them, say, this is evil. Without them even interacting, they get that spirit. So women, they have come to understand that Prophet Key is only pretending to be a rude man, but he's not rude. So they understood that because from my language, all that cause I can be causing, they can see passion in my talk. They see passion. And women are very sensitive, knowing what is evil. I want to give you the example of giving them a knife for a chicken and for a pineapple. They will go for the pineapple. For the chicken, they will leave it. It's not because they not get straight to kill that chicken. They get straight. but in their mind, built in their mind, that it's not good to take away life. So I can always say, when you see a woman become more wicked, through background investigation, she has been formulated by male. That man make her like that. You check her, go. She going through a man teaching. That man form her. But woman in natural, they are very peaceful people and they're very sensitive when they see someone that is bad. So now they are making voodoo on them. They understand that only pretending to be a bad man, but I'm not bad man. Because they know I get wife, I get daughter, and most of them talk to me behind the scene. We lecture, like two of my strongest female supporters, they give birth to two baby girls. And the other one, before she even gave birth, the baby overdue. I call on Saturday, the same Saturday, she gave birth. So she called me, tell you that because of you, tell you that because of you. You talk to me straight, then the baby came. So that's it. It's not because I'm making medicine. You know, for me, the fact of the matter, I don't really believe in, I don't deny that medicine work, but for me, I believe too much in my intelligence. I believe too much in intelligence. There is something about intelligence. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let me ask this Prophet Key. I'm not talking about the Prophet Key on the war stage. This Prophet Key that is here on the show today. Prophet Key, is there any time in your life that you will say, okay, you know, they cost here and I cost enough and I cost all? You see, even me, I will order you some course because I know here before and I learned it from you. So, like, I learned a lot of course. Is there a time that Prophet Key will say, okay, you know what, anything here and I cost too much now? So let me hear cool down. And whether Joe will go or Uganda or whoever president will come, whether you go or Uganda, let me just forget about him and start causing. Or I can cause the person that you can cause leave for, but not mama, we ain't got nothing to do with it. So is there a time that Prophet Key will sit and say, you know, let me drop this thing? Do you see that time coming?
You see, don't just see me as a common man, I'm a psychologist. I understand the human mind. Why you don't care about me? I understand the human mind. And you see, on a show, we're looking for discussing because I want your mind want from. So I give it to you what you want.
PK.
So if I call you, I say, I'll call you, of course.
No, when you cost me now, you know, I will play my role and I will make you know the barman. I will make the barman. When your own show, make the barman.
We know elaborate the show like this before. And for you guys will come in. But for those of you, our viewers, I know a lot of people who are viewing here have not been here before. But because they heard that Prophet Key will come here, and there are two groups of people you see here now, Prophet Key, let me tell you. One group is a group that believes that you are actually going to cause. Even though I told them that cause, they say, no, we believe you will cause. And then the other group that just love to hear you talk. So these are the groups that I see here. So for you, our viewers, this is the Prophet Key who told you about that he will be a different man on the show today, and he has not disappointed us. Guys, am I right? Has Prophet Key done anything that we don't like?
I said it from the very beginning. I think Prophet Key heard me talking there because many a times Prophet Key is the PK on the war stage, but I've seen him sometimes on the PK on the war stage. He made sense. And I was about to ask the question when Lord Cholople came in. I was about to also lay the issue down when Lord Cholople came in. The question I was getting for Prophet Key was, how does Prophet Key manage to handle some other affairs out of politics? Like he just mentioned, he got people calling him fathers. He talk in their domestic issues. These are things I know. They got boyfriend, serious relationship, 10 years, is breaking apart, and Prophet Key is settling those issues. It's not on the war stage, so nobody is about to tell him,
many of them,
you're doing good things. So they wouldn't bring it to you, but when they see him as the prophet that morning or that evening and that afternoon to preach their language, then they get agitated and they see him different. So I'm asking myself and I'm asking him, how do you get your intelligence on some of the informations you bring to the public? How do you get the energy, the insight, the wisdom to manage some of the issues you manage? Like maybe somebody corrupt somebody, they stole thousands of dollars from somebody and they don't want to pay back. 10 years going, they're just sitting down with the person money. By the time they appear on the war stage, they become calm. They either go looking for the people they owe before. Like I know of 3 different land issues have come from the war stage. And they were resolved with money being refunded.
After.
You see, with money being refunded. So how is Prophet Key managing? Where does this wisdom come from?
I want to say that intelligent, I'm a mind reader. First thing first, I read your mind, and first I have to know your fear. I have to know your fear. When you know someone fear, then you know how to make him to succumb. So there are some people, you look at them, they're gangster. There are some even cases people brought to me, Preki, go cross the person, do that. I said, no, I can't treat a case like this. She said, what? I said, because I will not hear that person. So when I, like the case of Charlotte Raman and the woman, the money she collected for the woman who just passed away, people came to me, Prophet Key, Charlotte Raman, who killed the woman money. She don't pay the woman money. She said, eat the money. Prophet Key, see to her, talk to her, and call so that she get the woman. I said, no. First thing first, I've already finished reading Charlotte Raman. She want to eat that money. So they said the old man want cry, then the door now her head. She was shocked. So I cannot use aggressive method on Charlotte Raman. I only have to be persuasive, beg her indirectly, at the same time making her afraid with legal issue. So I was persuasive, and begging her, then at the same time bringing legal issues, but you admitted that you collected money from the woman and you used the woman money. So when the people take it to the law in America, there's an evidence on you that you are a thief, and evidence there. So I have to use your fear on you, your fear. Always find them what they are afraid of. Then you use it on them. When you know they're afraid, use it on them, it's very easy for them to succumb.
But Prophet Key, somebody told me that you talk all this thing, you do all the causing, you cause the president man because we had the freedom of expression law in Liberia, the Camara freedom of expression law. Is that a case? What if Liberia was such that if you cause me, I get a right to go sue you? No freedom of speech. You think you'll be able to cause the president man?
No, it will be a little bit high. Let's be realistic.
I know I'm going to.
It will be a little bit high because the prophet himself too. There is something from the Sumerian tablet they call a meme.
I like that.
The Sumerian tablet, the meme, the law. They say everybody live by the law, even God himself obey the law. With all the power that God gets, God cannot stop us from giving birth. God cannot stop the day and God cannot stop the night. I bet you to go pray now so they cannot breathe. It will not happen. It will never happen. Because there's a meme that the Sumerians say, even the gods obey the law. So there is a law that, I'm only sure I obey your law.
Yeah.
There's a law that people have to obey. But what really and give me the more energy to be insulting more, because there's a law that the Table Mountain Declaration that George Weah passed into law, the Abdullah Camara law that decriminalize freedom of expression. But you see that particular law, it go against our constitution. But I'm not going to go there with them because the constitution says that you're entitled to freedom of speech, but you are held liable to what you say.
You're right.
For what you say. So you see that, but the Abdullah Camara law says decriminalize freedom of expression. That means to say words is no more an offense. So before they can pass that law, they were supposed to amend
the constitution.
The article, you see it, but all that thing they're not seeing it. Because when you decriminalize freedom of expression, it means words is not an offense at all. But the Constitution says, yeah, words can be offense. It depends what you will say.
And you should account for what you say.
Thank you.
Paul, our time is fast spent.
Linford, let me do a recap. Let me do a recap of something.
Hold on, guys.
Yeah, hold on, guys.
I just want to make a quick announcement. On Sunday, Bottom Line will be hosting J. Ronnie Drupal. So the flyer will be out on Sunday, this coming Sunday, the same time. We'll be hosting J. Ronnie on this program. And for those of you who first time following us, kindly click the like button so when we come on, you can appear and also share our program. And I just want to put that so you can come in quickly because we've been here 2 hours now. Prophet Key will have the legend goals.
So two things quickly, Prophet Key. You spoke of your family. We've spoken of your family, and we see that family man who you are. And you also made emphasis on why you bring yourself on the world stage the way you do, because you see people mind, you know what they want, so you bring it to them the way they want it. Now I'm asking you a question based on the question Linford asked you, that the Bible verses you use on the world stage, whether you're able to reduce them. And you've said, yes, it's possible based on the way the people want it or how you give it to them. The question now is, have you dated a Liberian woman? The next one that follows the question is, I understand your wife isn't a Liberian, because people have asked the question on the world stage. I've not seen much of an answer on it. So since you're doing us justice and your followers are here, I want you to do them justice and do us justice. Why didn't you take a Liberian woman?
No, you see, love does not have a nationality.
They gotta get too much inside him.
You can take any nationality, it depends love. Okay? And I never take I never took a foreign woman because of fear of Liberian woman. No, I love. Okay, because love is like a magnet, they can attract one another. So I saw the love in her and she saw in me. So we attracted one another. And you see, love does not have nationality, love does not have age, and that's love. But I'm born by a Liberian woman. My first son by a Liberian woman. A Loma girl. Famata Muria. I'm my son's mother. And up to now, this woman, since she myself started, she went into 2 different relationships, but she continued to force herself in my life and even make her children then to the children that she born also, making them feel that I'm their father.
Wow.
That I'm their father, that even the children that call me, or daddy, and she forcing them on me because she understood that I am a good man. I know what woman love because I'm a man of conscience. I really don't know how to peep for somebody until you peep for on me. Now, even when people bring cases to me on the world stage, I want to make sure that you are right. Because when you're not right, I'm talking for you, and I get that energy. I'm guilty. And so because that woman, that bomber, she lay for me in my house, I want she can tell that people say, I mean, know that man. She go into 2 different relationships and stay forcing the trade on me. So even my woman myself, before my woman had to speak to her, but I forced my woman to speak to her. I said, you know what? I don't want a woman again because she knows my importance. Okay, and no more born for me. So there's a relationship that we cannot cut off because of my son.
Right.
So you just forced to make friend with a woman Don't need to be talking.
Yeah,
Don't need to be friends.
we actually must go now. We actually
Yeah,
must go now. So
But this one is for you and it's for Lord Chilloplate. And it's for even the followers. The CDC and the judge we are today that were asking Prophet Key not to be insulting. Can we recall that they were teaching people how to insult? Let's remind ourselves.
yeah. So before the prophet go, the prophet, I just want to play some little 1 minute clip for you, and it's just an advert before we give you a parting comment. This is from for the AAC camp from Arizona comment. It's just 1 minute, few seconds, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I've had the chance, the blessings to live in Nigeria, to live in Kenya, work there, live in Nigeria, work there, South Africa, of course the US and the UK. I understand these countries, the economies, I understand the country and economy. I understand how you create jobs. I understand how investors think. Look, investors will not come to Liberia given the environment we have here today. I can attract investors, but they will only come if they come into an environment that they know the judiciary works, that is business friendly, that government officials will not be hitting them out for money. If the environment is changed, we will bring investors to this country. As president, we will change the environment. We will change the environment, and because I have these relationships with investors, they will not only come because they know me, they will come because we have changed the environment. We will have both in place. The relationships and the environment will be changed. You know, President Weah today, he can attract footballers to come because that's what he did, that's what he knows, that's what he played. So they will come and they will play with him, they will celebrate with him, and that is okay. But that is not what the country needs. The country needs Liberian investors, Liberians here to thrive and prosper, and we need serious international investors to come. And as I said, we know how to attract them, we know what's required in the environment, we know what they look for, we know the kind of persons they will ask. And they know for over 40 years, I've worked internationally with a lot of success. And again, that's how we change our country, that's how we create jobs, that's how we grow the economy in Liberia.
Right. The prophet's gone, so just want to put that out there.
We hope probably he may come back, but we got to understand the constraints that he may be having, because this is Africa, even though it's Morocco, but it's also Africa, and we may just understand that there are some constraints financially and other stuff, because we've been here over 2 hours, but gentlemen, I think on the average it was a good show.
It was. We touched basically a lot of the issues we wanted to discuss, and the thing is, I didn't expect, on a serious note, I didn't expect some level of maturity and honesty that people talk about Prophet Key all of the times, you know, and Prophet Key just isn't that person. I didn't want to say much of it because I've spoken to him, we've talked before, you know, so I didn't want to say much of it. And I think, like he said, right, he's done his own research, his insight, his instinct have told him that respond to the people this way, that's how they want it, and you're going to play along with them. So he's doing that just fine, and he's unique at that. And if the public sentiment deems it not necessary for their pleasure, you know, I don't think he's there for just any individual pleasure, you know. So they can reach out to him, maybe coordinate. If you want to coordinate a Prophet Key show, you can reach out to him and tell him maybe he's going to charge you $1 million and he stop insulting, you know. So you reach out to him to coordinate, and then he can give you the show. But that's how he present his. I remember Solomon George in the House of Representatives, almost in every month he has something abusive to say to somebody, or in every 3 months, he has something to bring up. I also remember the same Akaros Gray here today. He had lots to bring up on Madam Salif. I also remember Molwa Molu, along with Jefferson Koji, coordinated, orchestrated disgraceful contents against a woman president, a sitting president, a female at that rate. So Prophet Key is the Prophet Key we see here today, and he's going to be the Prophet Key on the world stage tomorrow. So let him take it or leave it.
Yeah. Linford, let's bring in Prophet Key. Prophet Key, thank you for being on the show. It was a great show and it's good. This is your family show. You are always welcome here. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We like your interaction and it was great. We like the way you answer the question. Let's flow and we'll want to bring you back at some point in time. So we'll be engaging you. Remember too, now we're family, so we know each other. So here we go. Linford, let Prophet Key say something to the audience and then.
Yeah, and Prophet Key, you know, you did not disappoint me, because I stuck my neck on the line for you. When I posted the flyer 2 days ago, I fought a lot of people. Some of my own journalist friends condemn me that I have, you know, tinted my character as a journalist for interviewing or to bring Prophet Key on my show. But the thing is, I also told them, people like, the worst people like Osama bin Laden, people interview all kinds of people. So the thing is, we look for information, we look for ideas, not the personality. Even though the personality aspect of it plays a role. But like I said, you did not disappoint me, and neither the show. And those of your doubters, people who felt that you cannot speak, you cannot say anything civilly without abusing, I think they are all convinced today that indeed the Prophet Key they see on the world stage is not the Prophet Key that will appear on T Match Latter show or on the bottom line. And we want to say thank you very much for that, and that you held onto your promise that you will be very good, you will be your normal Neyabokwa. And by the way, Neyabokwa, it means in Gyo, I think it means all children cannot be the same. And in Pele, I think it will mean Lonkele Fabron Gima. Lonkele Fabron Gima. Also in Mano, it means that Nese Nebo Kiba. And in Paso, no, the Paso will be a little bit different.
Okay.
If you have me.
You're saying you.
Nale.
You said everybody child, right? Or everybody?
No. All the children cannot be the same.
I saw, okay. When I refresh my memory, I'll give it to you.
I know it's difficult. So it was very good that we hosted you, and then like Paul said, this is not going to be the last time when the political heat continues. Of course, from now to 2023, we're going to see a lot of things. People will be crossing carpet, a lot of things will be happening. So always stand by, Prophet Key. We will get to you, and we'll use your in-law. You know, it's a blood thicker than water. Maybe if I take a phone and call Prophet Key, you say, I get time. But when your in-law call you can't say no. So Paul will always get to you whenever we need you here. And so thanks a lot. If you have any parting comment, you can give it now.
Okay, I would like to say a big thank you to the panelists. But there is something you guys are doing that other Liberians see. Okay, Prophet Key can cause. Prophet Key is rule is that. Prophet Key came on your show and there was no rule that will exhibit. That shows that the more you engage Prophet Key, you can change Prophet Key indirectly.
Right.
They're not seeing it. But when you continue to drive him away like a bad man, he will continue to be bad. Like I always say, psychologically, treat him like a friend, he will behave like a friend. You say this man is bad, and you continue to outcast the man, he will continue to be bad. But when you start to breaking on the mainstream, the man a human being, automatically he will start to behave. Then you are winning, but they're not seeing it. And you see it, they're not seeing it because They really don't understand the human mind, the human society, how human behave. In the left field, that because but by bringing me, you making a put to get the best out of me. You show it to me so perfectly you belong in a society too. You get part of play here too. When you behaving like this, you indirectly you sending a message out there to me because you bringing me out. So automatically I will have to behave. But when you continue driving me away, I will continue to remain the way I am.
That's right.
So people need to learn that bringing this man who you tell to be bad man and more you there's a way to you will change in a way because you want to be like you. Now I want to be like you. So you see, we're looking at scene on the show. So there's a veteran right there, but they're not seeing it. They want you to test it. That be beating me. When you mind the ugly and the Bible, you will kill it.
You will kill it.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay, so on that note, gentlemen, I think we will left for our prophet to take exit, and Prophet Key, like I said, will bring you on whenever they need a races, and then we can all discuss the problem with Mama Liberia. Thanks a lot, and have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, PK.
Okay, so guys, it is us now, and let's do the last one quickly. There was some development in the news recently, just about yesterday, and my good old brother, my long-time big brother, Louis Brown, of the National Patriotic Party, and by way of just a quick introduction, I got to know Louis Brown, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 1993, between there, 92, 93. And how did I know Louis Brown? And most of you will not even know the story. And let me tell you the story. Louis Brown had just graduated from the university, I think Cottington University, precisely. And Louis Brown was one of those graduates that was very unfortunate. When he graduated, the war just bounced in, and then he didn't have a job. The story may not be totally correct, but he didn't have a job. He was in Buchanan. Everybody was suffering. MPFL had ravaged the whole place. MPFL was in control, nothing doing, man. You know, the educated guys around. And so, if any of you can follow the story, there were some guys that were summarily executed a long time ago, just a breach before he entered Buchanan City. And that raised a lot of concern in Buchanan. All of the citizens in Buchanan were enraged. Tonwo was defense minister in the MPFL. And the Buchanan people said, Tonwo, you cannot enter Paso unless they find out the story about these guys. And so the Paso people were mounting pressure. Who was the superintendent of Paso County? One Amin Salomon, one Molatu guy. And so the pressure was on. Taylor was in Banga. Taylor didn't know what was going on. Don't worry, you cannot go to Buchanan. And so the message reached to Taylor. You know, MPF were well connected when it comes to radio communication, right? So Taylor got a message. And he said, he took a phone and call, or the radio and call Amin Salomon. He said, what's going on? And Amin Salomon explained the story. He said, my citizens are dissatisfied for the summary execution of these people. So Taylor said, I'm coming to Buchanan. Taylor came from Banga, he came to Buchanan. When he got to Buchanan, all the pastor people prepare a very strong, powerful message. Who to read the message? They were looking for the educated people. Louis Brown, he other volunteer, or they forced him to read a message. And in that message, Louis Brown actually blasted Taylor. From head to toe, he blasted. And then Taylor was just in there nodding his head. And after that, Taylor said, okay, we'll take care of everything. Taylor left, he went back. 2 days after, he sent his bodyguard, say, you'll go bring that boy. You'll go call that boy who delivered his speech. And those guys, you know, when he say, go call guy, it mean that go, you know, for them, it mean go arrest him, man. The way the guy then bouncing Buchanan, my man. As the story go, I'm not there as the story go, Louis giving him his farm. All the ants were eating him, man. They can't find him. He said, why I can't that? But, you know, finally, they got Louis Brown and they carried Louis Brown. So Taylor said, Louis, you will come closer to me. I like your expose. I like the way you talk. I like your voice. And so this is how some of these guys came to prominence. And like many other guys that I can name, the Edwin Snow, that one or nowhere. No, over there. But Louis Brown is a strong supporter of the MPP. He just yesterday had a press conference and he declared or endorsed Mr. Alexander B. Cummings.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Louis Brown like I said, he's not a small potato in Grand Bassa County. Also, on the governmental level, Louis Brown has worked. He worked as information minister before. And then he also served, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the last position he held in this in Ellen government was, I think, Liberia's ambassador to the UN, was one of them, one of those positions.
Yes.
And he was
He
recalled.
was there.
Yeah, he was recalled by the Joshua administration. So Louis Brown has followers. Louis Brown, politically, he's not a small potato in Pekiana. Added to the Macintosh Gateway. So those are powerful people. But yesterday he declared his intention. I'm sorry, we cannot play that video because of time factor. But my question is, guys, how do you see such a development for the CPP? Let's narrow it to the ANC, but to the CPP. How do you see that?
Well, the thing is that let me first tell you that I strongly support the strong people that still holds the CPP together.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been an easy thing. It has not been something very easy. When you see such conflict in political institutions, the only thing that people wait for is to look for the remnants of these institutions. It's for people to see how they will break apart and how they can misuse their pieces, their broken pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But the CPP is here and there's only one arm broken, and the CPP said, well, we can use synthetic rubber, we can use plastic surgery, we can do all that we have in our might to make sure that the CPP holds. Looking at a factor like Louis Brown, there are so many issues that comes to mind, and the facts are there. He has a huge community, including the folks that will support a person like Edwin Snow as well. They've been divided before, they know each other, but they still hold together, they hold some value for each other. So that is a plus for me for the CPP, is a plus for me for Mr. Alexander B. Cummings as well. And it's a plus of the Liberty Party and other institutions that, you know, support the CPP, sympathizers as well. These are people that you don't just joke with in our body politics. He's been on the international scene. He sat with diplomats. He sat with people that are looking at the stability of every nation in the world, their development, their progress. He sat with these people, exchanged conversation with them concerning Liberia, making contribution as well at the level of the UN. So he's not a small force to reckon with. Louis Brown is a big plus for me. It's a very big plus for me for the CPP. Definitely.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's, and thank you for bringing that up. And Louis Brown, he is a bonus to the CPP campaign. And all along, people have been saying, Mr. Cummings don't have the number because they've been using this playing this travel card. Well, if you look at people that are coming closer now to propagate his message and to push him further, if you get Toka Macintosh, you get Louis Brown on your team, and other forces to announce too, I think this is where the government will be jittering, to be honest with you. That wait, these guys not only now because you bringing people who knows the grassroots politics of Liberia onto your team. Remember too, there are a lot of Zokos. Louis Brown can tap into that group easily. So he knows the language.
And
he
Philippe, let me take few minutes of your time. I'll give it back to you. Do you know that he's been one of the people supporting those guys, the disadvantaged youth that we call Zokos today? He used to organize feeding sections for them at his place in ELWA there, right around where the Kennedy, where that guy has his resorts now. Louis Brown had a property there. They used to go there Sunday,
I know
Saturday.
that house. I know that house when it was being built from the very foundation.
And he used to feed them over there. So that's a fact. You can continue.
Well, and so like you guys saying, for me, I think it's a plus. In the Liberian politics, everybody had, like me, I come from a big family, so people may consider me just a Linford, but I come from a big family. I got brothers and sisters, multiple, and their children's children, and they're all of voting age. So I can also impact, and and so like Mr. Cummings has always said, the ANC or the CPP is a big tent. Everybody has a space in that tent. Okay, no matter how small you are, how big or plenty you are, you still have a space in that tent. So
well, before we close, I was saying something about he have he knows the grassroots politics of Liberia, and he can maneuver around. And in Liberia, where you get people just go on radio and talk, and he got a voice, he will talk. And that is the plus that comes with him on Mr.
He comes from one of the former biggest party, like the MPP.
Yes, exactly.
And I will tell you something about the MPP. We all come from the MPP background. I will know a member of the MPP though, but since I work closely with Mr. Taylor, people in the MPP, they will always have that sympathy for each other, no matter, because they know what they pass through during the wartime. So people, Louis Brown will have people that believe in him from the MPP days, people who he did good for. They'll say, oh, now papa, anywhere you go, we go. So, like I said, you cannot overlook anybody in this particular period. Everybody is bringing something to the table.
So Linford, before we close, what do we want from Liberia? I asked Professor Key this question, that among those three persons that is challenging Weah, let's look at the best manager of all three. But then he said that he will pick when they pick the running mate first. But that question was placed. The kind of Liberia we all been dreaming of. It's one of the things that people been seeing. We go picking people because they are popular, because they come from a particular tribe, because they are so loved. But is it about time that we put that love in from this tribe, from that tribe, and pick that person that will best lead the country to the kind of Liberia we want?
Okay,
that's manager. So let's just talk only for the next 4 minutes and then close up, because we've been here for a while now. So that's why
you want to go first.
Yeah, you can go, Linford.
Okay.
Linford, 1 sec.
Yeah.
Announcement on Sunday, I will be hosting J. Rennie on Bottom Line. And for those who follow, or they can just press that red button, and so every time it comes on, they've been notified. Flo.
Okay. There is no direct answer to your question. The reason I'm saying that is that, the Liberian people have reached a point where they do not trust anybody anymore. And to build that trust, it takes time. It takes effort, a lot of sacrifices. Why do I say so? We have 130 some years of one party rule, so to speak, and one group of people led the country. Although it was stable, but that wasn't too satisfactory to the rest of the people. The majority of the people, the citizenry, the downtrodden, they felt a need to change the system. They changed the system, and we said, well, we got somebody who is one of us, who was President Duo. Fast forward, things did not go the way people expected it to go, probably because of over anxiety, over expectation. And then working, we destroyed the very fabric of the society or in the name of change. Then we have somebody who was fighting the system all the time, Ellen Johnson, and people felt that this person would be the answer. And the person came, she did her part, Nobody can say that she didn't do much. She did some things, but again, people saw that vacuum, and then they felt, well, we still need to find somebody who we can really identify with. And this time, guess what? They did not take a staunch politician. They did not take somebody who has made any impact politically. They did not choose somebody who has that education, to the level of. I mean, let's be frank. Joshua is not educated to the level of many Liberians. Got Liberians that got 2, 3 PhDs. Okay, a country of 5 million people. So they said, well, I think the solution to this thing is one guy who came from way down there. The guy who can relate to him. The boy play football. The boy came from nowhere. He used to break pancana. He used to go to, down Coconut Beach and break punk, coconut. And he did everything just that all of us as kids, when we were coming up, we did. So anybody could see himself through Joshua, or typical Montreal boys, we that grew up, especially in the 70s. We could see ourselves through Joshua. So people put their whole life in him. And it's not turning out the way that people expected it to be. So the Liberian people, they have all reasons to be skeptical of anybody, even on Linford, who went to look for Ale, who sold copper, who did almost also who jumped on the football field to go on it. I mean, everything. Even if I appear before some of my friends, they will say, "But my man, we say not believe you." So then, the question you're asking, Paul, when I say there's no direct question, direct answer to it, let me verify that. Yes, we see in the race for now, we see 3 strong opponents to Joshua, Joseph Walker. Joseph Walker comes from the background where he's been in government all the time. He worked for this early government for 12 years. They did what they could do, but the Liberian people were not satisfied. They voted them out because of Joshua. Okay, then you got Tawan Congo. Tawan Congo is my nephew. Close blood relative. Okay, he's a human rights lawyer. He got a fame. People know him to defend law. To be in the interest of the poor people. Politically, he has not done much in that arena. Then here comes Mr. Cummings with this vast experience from where? From the corporate world. He are not working in government. So everybody's kind of a little bit skeptical. Can Tawan Congo, really deliver? This is loyal. Can he be a good president? Joe Baka was there for 12 years. He said he was old car park. Can we bring the old car and put new engine inside? Can he make any effort or any change? The Cummings, they may not work in government. So I'm just laying on the general ground, right? So the Liberian people, based on all of this that I'm explaining, they got a little bit of fear. But to address your question from my own end, we got to look at the records of these people. Let Mr. Cummings always say in one of these videos that we have that he managed billions of dollars, not a cent got missing. He worked for over 40 years. He got honorably retired. So far, he's the only retired Liberian who is coming into politics. He's not one Liberian man who is looking for a job to live on. He's retired. He serves on about 6 or 7 companies board that can make him to live for the rest of his life, even besides the money he earned. So I think Cummings is not coming to look for a job to get rich. So I would put my bet on Cummings. And if, and only if, looking at his political ideology, he could team up with Etienne. I think it's a done deal. Because the two of them come with one thing in common, clean record. That is the one thing I give the two of them, clean record in a Liberian governmental system, clean record. So if the two could team up, for me personally, I think it's a done deal.
You campaigning for Tiawan?
No, you see, the thing is, no, when we talk about politics in Liberia, we're talking about Liberia, right? We're not talking about individuals. We're talking about Liberia.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've said it all, and For me, I would rather support. I mean, I am not saying it against Tier 1. I see him with somebody with an impeccable character, reputation, and a professional Liberian for that matter. But I would rather prefer the SB himself making the best evaluation, in as much as the public contribution to that matters. I would rather, for the time it has taken Mr. Cummings over the last 20 years, I mean, not really 20 years, close to 20 years in Liberian politics, so it's sufficient enough to have given way and to have investigated, people going out, people coming in. He's interacted with them. He's getting to know some of the character, and the public themselves bringing some of the characters to him, whether they're good or whether they're bad. The public bringing them to him as well. So it's easy for him to dissect these people and know that, okay, I think from my public view, from my supporters' view, this person makes 10% of what I desire. From my public view, this person makes 50% of what I want. And then his own judgment, his own evaluation can, on the overall, rate the person. And mind you, when you choose a vice president, that person must be somebody you have faith and confidence in. It's not because the people, the sentiments are there.
Yeah,
It's
it
somebody
must be
you
somebody who
must
share
have,
your vision, somebody you think
yes,
you can see
you must
something
have trust
similar.
and confidence in. They must be able to help you drive your vision. Many a times in the religious cycle, we say there are people who has vision and there are people who carry the vision. And in the political scene, is there as well. There are people who has the vision, they come with it, and there are people who drive it. Like currently, George Weah was not the visionary of the CDC. He's helping to drive it, but the driving seat he's sitting down in, somebody got the steering and he's sitting at the back. So I would rather him taking a key look at people that are surrounding him with good characters now that he see got the vision.
Right. Great, guys. So this was a great show. I would say thanks to our audience too for being here with us. For those for the first time, it was a great show. So Linford, I'll say thanks to guys, and I hope to see you guys too on Sunday. Guys, I know Linford will be busy, so Sunday will be hosting Jay Rennie. So to go, I want us to end up with the you, Jim Fagon, Monkey Music, if you guys don't mind.
Why you didn't play the music for Prophet Key? I mentioned A and R. I wanted you
Yeah.
to play it. That's why I mentioned it.
Okay, so let me just say thanks to our viewers, and it was a great show, like Paul said. And Paul is going to be here on Sunday, you say?
Sunday, yeah, Jay Rennie and
Okay,
Drop will be
because
here.
normally Paul comes on with that program on Saturday, but
Yeah.
because we have to be flexible to the schedule of our host, our guest, sorry, and so he shifted it to Sunday, but the show is always on Saturday. So you are invited to come. Paul is going to share the flyers, and so you are invited to join. And Guy, it was good that you were here. And one day probably we'll hook up on your show. Guy also runs a show called Spice It Up. And probably we'll hook up on there and discuss Liberia. And we got a constant number of viewers. And let me give that credit. They're always with us. Okay. And we want to say thank you very much. Without you, we will not be here because we'll be talking to ourselves. So I'd rather take a phone and call Paul or call Chimai and we can talk. But because we are here, and so you make us to be here, and it's good that you are here. Thanks a lot. We cherish you. The Norwegian word is setepris, meaning we attach value to you.
So, and the Russian word is spasiba bashoye. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, so let me use this time also to say a big thank you to all of the followers of Spice It Up. I saw all of you here in the comment section. your comments, your view, just for supporting Bottom Line. I believe that you support Spicy Up. You are a good fan of Spicy Up. And to all of the great people. Also, I saw Fendala Patrick. I think he viewed and then got busy. So that is a plus. He's a good supporter of Spicy Up. And by the way, he's contesting for the House of Senate. So
Wow.
Thanks to all of you supporters. Thanks to Bottom Line family. We are one people.
But may speak small German now.
What do you want me to say?
Say thank you to.
On that note, I'll leave the audio with the monkey music. Thanks, you guys.
The babu, eh?
Thank you, Alice Zame.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
I cannot get me for late here to drive for the $7,000 car. Now what's what camping for? That's stupid. That is what camping for your stepson to wash a car. With Weah shopping, 350 US. That is what camping. That is what camping. For you feel like to eat lobster and he's showing the baby chicken and driving at the $8,000 car. That is what camping. That is what camping. For Janako to be controller general. Why a web that this is it was? That is what camping. That is what camping. For Bessie Yeke to be head of place. Why a web that one of the people want to NASCAR? That is what camping. That is what camping. For Emma Castro to be the head of NAFA. While husband is a consultant to Marita. That is what camping. Oh, that is what camping. So family, there's the happy. I'm going into detail.